Okay, we are live, and it's an impromptu live stream with Danny and Cantonese Cat. How's it going, guys?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, doing good. I don't know how I got looped into this, but happy to be here.
You know you love it. You love it. Can't stay away. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about MicroStrategy and Palantir today, and Danny is going to start off by showing his beautiful charts here of first the daily chart of MicroStrategy. So go ahead, take it away, Danny.
Oh, yes, okay. So first of all, I'm going to focus on panel one. So we find the last daily candle, which was doing very well on the daily chart, because it has actually closed above the upper boundary of the blue ribbon, as you can see. Now, so we find a very important resistance level at around 150 or 149.7. And let me double check. Yes, MicroStrategy closed at $150 this week. So I think this is a very promising sign on the daily chart, because you can find that, first of all, the blue ribbon is tightening, and secondly, it closed just above a very important resistance level. And this also aligned with the steady increase, or let's say sudden increase in the wealth accumulation in panel 3. So you will find that at the same time, the retail accumulation was declining, actually. So we find a very good ratio between retail accumulation and also the wealth accumulation. So let me report the percentage. The retail accumulation reached 13.1%, whereas wealth accumulation jumped to 33%. So in other words, the wealth seem to be in full control of the stock MicroStrategy on a daily chart. And also one thing which I would like to highlight is, are you okay?
Yeah, we are good.
Okay, good, fine. MACD, if you take a look at panel 4, we find the golden cross.
Right here.
So everything seems to be aligning so well from panel 1 to panel 5. So you will find, first of all, once again, the blue ribbon is tightening. It closing above the resistance level. And in panel 2, the trend line was back to purple, which is an indication of the bullish trend. Panel 3, we find a good ratio between wealth accumulation and retail accumulation. Panel 4 and panel 5, in terms of the technical indicators, they are showing signs of curling up.
So that whale accumulation, that's what percentage is that? 8%, maybe? No.
It's got to be more than that.
No,
More
17.
than that, 33.
Yeah, 33.
33. Yeah.
33 to
Okay.
13. So I think this is a very
Yeah.
good ratio. Yeah. And remember, we need 50% of wealth accumulation for the stock to run. So anyway, I think we are heading in the right way on the daily chart.
Yeah. That's a big decrease in retail too. From day to day. Big decrease. That's really good to
Yes,
see.
big decrease. Exactly.
All right. Weekly chart next.
Okay. So if we take a look at weekly chart, well, first of all, if you take a look at panel 1, we will find that the ribbon has been with us for more than a year, actually. So we don't find any blue ribbon. So this shows you that MSTR is actually in the bullish cycle on the weekly chart. However, let me double check. Yes, the last yellow candle appeared 3 weeks ago, and we are still waiting for that red candle to appear as a final confirmation to the bottoming process on the weekly charts. So probably we need to be patient. And if you take a look at panel 2, so still we find the green bars, which are an indication of a little bit bearish sentiment. So probably, once again, we need to be patient. We need to wait for the red candle in panel 1 on the daily chart. And if you take a look at panel 3, so yes, the last bar, so actually we find a steady increase in well accumulation, currently at 67%, which is quite strong, but not strong enough to push up the price to a high level, because we need 75% of the wells for the stock to surge. Talking about retail accumulation, it decreased to only 10.7%. So once again, a quite promising sign. If we compare daily charts and also the weekly charts, we find a steady decrease in retail accumulation, but a gradual increase in well accumulation. And if you take a look at technical indicators in panel 4 and panel 5, we also find some good signs of curving up. So both daily charts and weekly charts give up some clues about something for positive is going to happen to MSTR.
Yeah, and does that concern you that it's still light blue up here on panel 1, or no?
Sorry?
Does that concern you that it's still light blue and it hasn't turned
it
to a red
doesn't
candle
matter
yet?
because so actually we find the light through, which means that the bearish trend is still with us. But I think that's fine. That's totally okay, because the last weekly candle was back to the red ribbon.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
It's back to the red.
So probably MSTR is still on the safe side.
Even though the yellow candle is still valid on the weekly chart.
Exactly. So probably we need one more week. We just give MSTR one more week and see whether the red candle can engulf it, or anyway. So let me try to explain why that yellow candle appeared. First of all, if you take a look at the red ribbon, so actually the yellow candle just closed beneath or below the red ribbon in terms of the price level.
Yeah.
And last week is improving, but still the bearish trend is lingering. And the last weekly candle is a promising sign, because it closed within the red ribbon. So every time, as you can see, every time when the red ribbon is tightening, the red candle will come and save us. But actually, we don't know when. So probably, if Bitcoin is going to do well, I'm sure that MSTR is going to follow suit.
Okay.
What's the Danny? What's the resistance level for the volume bar that is right at that current price level?
So let me double check. So on the weekly chart, that would be 160, and then 164, and the last one will be 176.4.
Okay, so we still got another $10 or so to get up to like pretty heavy resistance.
Yes. So that is my calculation aligning with Matt's.
Well, we will take a look at mine after we finish your monthly chart.
I just can't wait,
And there is a request about XRP, but I'll do that separately after we finish all of this. So Chevello, I will talk about XRP after everything. Okay. So, anyways, we'll go to the monthly chart next.
Okay. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. Yeah. So far, so good. So remember that this month is not over. So the monthly chart is not finalized until the last trading day in August. And one more price level which I would like to highlight on the monthly chart is 171.349. So this is a very important level, which I discussed with Kat 1 or 2 days ago. And my opinion is that we need to close above it. So to be more exact, close above 171.34 in order to keep up the momentum on the monthly chart. And if you take a look at the red ribbon, so actually it keeps widening, it keeps unfolding, it keeps developing. But one thing which I don't like is that in panel 3, we still find a gradual decrease in the well accumulation. currently, let me double check the percentage. 81.9. So actually, it's quite impressive. It's still very strong. 81. But if you try to compare, a few months ago, we find a steady decrease. But don't worry, if Bitcoin is going to do well, I'm sure MSTR is going to do well as well.
Yeah. Well, that green retail also includes probably earlier in the month where everybody was panicking
Yes.
with the carry trade too, right?
So last week
yeah.
is sorry, next week is very important.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah,
Bitcoin is going to do well. That's why.
Yeah, the monthly candle is not closed yet. For panel 2, are you worried about the red light turning green? Like, that's something you usually look at as a precursor. Kind of thing. It might be a little bit of premature signal, but what do you think about that?
Remember, it can fade out. The green button can fade out because we still have one more week.
Fair.
Yeah, so remember the monthly chart is changing every day.
Every week and every month is the most important week and month ever. So
yes. So the last. So I'm sorry, I keep making mistake. I'm sorry. So the next week is very important. Yeah, especially the last trading day.
Yeah, and still panel 4, panel 5. Oh, panel 5 still going down a little bit. So
yeah,
the RSI. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's I guess it's cooling down. Like it's just needed to have a pretty nice cool down. I'm trying to see if there's any like bearish divergence. I think if price goes up, you might be running up on bearish divergence from here on out. But price can go up a lot higher in bearish divergence. So
does this concern you how in panel 2 it's so extended from the purple line?
I think it's fine. It's fine because this is the style of MSTR. And I'll just go back to channel 1. Let me try to clarify something. Can you see the blue bar standing at 49.11?
Yeah, right here, 49.11.
Okay, so actually that used to be a very strong resistance level last year. And remember, all these monthly candles, the subsequent monthly candles had to close above it, so that the uptrend can still go on. So the same applies to 171.3. We need to have the monthly candles closing about this strong resistance level for MSTR to soar.
So probably not going to happen this month.
I'm quite concerned about this resistance level.
Yeah. But judging by the candles, it's probably not going to happen this month because of that green bar in panel 2 as well. Just some weakness still.
Remember, the green bar can turn to red anytime, any day, because I have experienced it before. Every day is changing. Yeah.
That's true. What if next week is just super explosive, right? Yeah. Super explosive. Well, any other things you want to share on this, Danny? Or are you good?
So far so good. These are the things that I'm going to show from daily to monthly chart.
Yeah, so I'll share my MicroStrategy chart.
Can't wait to see yours.
But before, while Matt's pulling that up, Danny, like, what do you think overall on MicroStrategy? Just overall, do you? I know you're showing the levels, things like that, but what do you think?
Well, I think it is very much tied to the price actions of Bitcoin, and if I can see that Bitcoin is bottoming out from 61 to 62K, I think MSTR is going to perform well. And actually, I myself would like to accumulate a little bit more if I can see this clear signal, because I really like the daily chart, and if you go back to the daily chart, the last red candle was quite accurate in predicting the bottoming process of MSTR. And since then, it has been getting very strong. And the well accumulation, and also the MACD golden cross. So I really like all these strong indicators reinforcing the bullish trend of MSTR.
Yeah, especially daily chart. Yeah, what you're saying, it's getting purple again, the whale accumulation up. Yeah, so slowly but surely, and it all starts with the daily chart.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. So let's go back to my chart. Here we go. And let me just take this off here so you guys don't need that. But essentially, I'm just going to show you guys how it closed on the week. And I'm sure Kat loves it too, how it closed on the week above both the conversion and baseline, right?
Yeah,
Pretty
how
good
can you
move.
not? I mean, I think it's like a precursor that Bitcoin is going to pump a little bit this weekend, which it is doing. So
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. I was noticing like just the past couple of weeks before Friday, like they were both similar candles. It was kind of like a doji candle from this week and that week. I'm like, oh, that could be weakness to come back to the cloud, but nope. On Friday, it just launched up, which was a good sign there for MSTR.
yeah, Friday pump, maybe a little bit of Monday dump, who knows? But it's good that it closed the week above conversion.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how Bitcoin closes, but yeah, essentially, I can still see going down to the 140s as support again, like 143, 140. Yeah, so we'll see about that. But let me just take some of this off, and I'll show you some of the higher time frame just by using the GAN here. Essentially, zoom out. Essentially, I see price kind of moving back up, right? It looks like this has been holding perfectly as a support, this 102 level, right? And it even went back down there during that scary Monday, right? And that was just a successful backtest of the previous all-time high back in February of 2021, which was also coincided with my 45-degree angle there. Not a coincidence, right? And essentially, I do see price eventually going back up to the blue level up here, which is around what, 303, maybe 300. I do see that eventually in its future, but it's not going to happen yet until it breaks the previous highs up here, right? So I still see that as a pretty big resistance. And your number was what again, Danny? Like 171?
Yes, 171 on the monthly chart.
On the monthly chart, yeah. So I can see that like
the 179 with yours.
Well, if I just drew a line for the 171 here for yours, we'll just go like right here, like 173. Yeah, it kind of aligns with like a lot of resistance, right? right there, like a little massive resistance here, here, right? So that's like 173, but essentially
I like the double confirmation,
yeah, essentially it's going to be challenged to break through that 170 level, but once it does, I think it'll flip it eventually to a support and then continue on to the 300s up here. And
180, 190, they are not the very strong resistance levels based on my charts.
Yeah, they're not too bad, especially like up here was just a wick, right? And here, like,
exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to be too bad. So yeah, the 170 levels is going to be the challenge to break. And if it can close a weekly or even better yet, a monthly candle above it would be the confirmation needed, I think, to carry on and have more of explosive moves to the 300s, which would be a double, right? On this chart, it looks like nothing from 150 to 300, but it's actually a double, right?
Yes.
It's pretty massive. Still,
you just get us excited.
Yeah,
stop it. No, I'm just kidding.
I
would say, yeah, go ahead.
Somebody's saying the chart is blurry and they can't read it. Is it my connection or something, or what's going on?
No, never mind. We just keep highlighting these price levels so people can just understand.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I think it's Restream. I think it's just Restream. Maybe the resolution is just not, But I think I can see it. I'm seeing on YouTube as well. I think I can see it. So
it's okay. It's not too terrible.
It's not too terrible. It's fine. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, the numbers are the most important, guys. So essentially, the 170 level it needs to flip, especially on a monthly candle close, to support. And once that happens, I think things can launch up much higher. So it's just some ways. It's like $20 away. So basically, it's just going to take some time, right? I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen this month. I mean, there's 7 days, 5, or like technically 5 trading days left, right?
Yeah.
And
anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, $20 for MicroStrategy could be nothing.
It's easy,
Yeah, it could be. It could happen in a day, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it could go up to 900. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But, yeah. Matt, do you want to put up the Ichimoku cloud? I mean, I think we both like to look at that. in multiple time frames, it looked good, except the daily is still under resistance. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so the monthly chart, it's just turned into a giant wick, basically right through the conversion end baseline there. Held a support fantastically, right? But it's still, you can see all these monthly candles in a row. They're just peaking around the same price. So that's just more confirmation that that 170 level right there is going to be a challenge to break, really. And you were saying the daily chart?
Yeah, if you want to look at the daily, you can tell the issue currently. Yeah.
Yeah, the daily chart, there is resistance is at the top of the cloud, but who knows where it's going to open Monday? It could open like above the cloud. We don't even know, right? So we'll find out just depending on how Bitcoin really reacts after the weekly candle close tonight, really. So we'll see. Let's see. Let me go back to the weekly chart and just fill everybody's like little hearts up with some hopium here.
No, I like the weekly because the 20 week is being reclaimed. It's like positive sloping. There are like a lot of things that look pretty good on the weekly. It's reclaimed a lot of resistance levels that you're worried about. So
yeah, it reclaimed all the resistance that I was worried about. But essentially, like looking how well this orange level held us support, like the blue level is going to be a magnet. And for the future of MicroStrategy, is it possible to get to this green level up here, which is $8,000? Is that even possible? Well,
Can
there's
you
only
repeat the price?
8,000. Is that going to be possible in the future?
8,000.
Yes, 8,000. But I don't know if that'll be possible, but the only way to find out is if this blue level eventually gets flipped to a support and does something similar what it did back with this orange level back here and confirm it as support and just launch it up, right? But that's not going to be anytime soon, I think. That'll take a while to play out. And you can see how far the next vertical line does sit on the chart here. And I'll just go here. And essentially that could be into the, like there's 2034, it could be even like 2036 or something to get to that 8,000 price. So that would be over a decade away. But I'm just saying
it's not early, Matt.
it's not it's not impossible, but we can't really consider that level yet until this becomes a support, right? And right now it's still a resistance, and that's still going to be, in my opinion, it's still going to be a magnet for price. So what I'm really looking at is just a 300 MicroStrategy, probably possibly later this year or even next year for that price to hit. So I don't think that's too far away, but again, just got to flip that 170, 171 level to a support, and then that will make price gravitate to this next level.
Yeah, so one thing I want to clarify, if you go back to my weekly chart, I also find a similar resistance level, which stands at 176.4.
Yeah,
so
right there.
once again, within the range that we just highlight, 170 something. 171, 176, it doesn't make too much difference, you know.
No. But I think once we start seeing a red candle maybe form on the weekly chart, it'll probably be time for a monthly candle to break above those levels, I think. But just got to have a little bit more patience.
Yes, patience is the key.
Yep.
And Matt, if you can go back to your chart, I just want to kind of like show people why we're having a hard time going up on the short term. If you put up like a 2-month or a 3-month chart and you put up the Bollinger Band, it really kind of gives you an idea in terms of like how bullish this stock is.
A 3-month chart, you say?
Like either 2-month or 3-month, yeah, and just put up the Bollinger Band, and it gives you an idea in terms of like what it is doing. I know it's like really trippy when you look at like higher time frame like that.
Yeah.
But like you I think it still wants to go up higher, but it's just simply got way overextended on like a higher time frame. Like the Bollinger Band is going to be a little bit of a magnet, right? So that's probably why we got punished for like the last 6 months, just because we're just like way outside up a Bollinger Band on a higher time frame, and sometimes using cool off.
Yeah, that's like what, almost 9 months right there, right? No, there's still 1 month left. 8 months basically. Yeah. That's a lot of just cooling off, really, because it got really extended from there.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that it's cool off enough because currently price is really like, right at the Bollinger Band. So I guess this candle won't close until, like you said, like a month from now. So maybe we start getting more bullish from here, but I just like the fact that the candle is touching the Bollinger Band. You know, like it gives me more confidence that I think we are maybe ready for the next move up pretty soon. So.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, the upper Bollinger Band is at 145, right? So that's a good sign. It's above it still. Kind of wants to make it expand even more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just cooling down. Like I'm not that worried about it. And on the monthly too, like initially it was just way too far overextended for like months on end. On the if you want to put up the monthly chart, gonna make you do the work, you know.
Do it. Oh yeah, but it's not really expanding as we would like it though, because it's underneath.
It's not expanding, but it's still expanding, and there's room to go up. Right now, I think the upper Bollinger Band is like 176.8, somewhere around there, which is interesting, right? 170s, right? So I think price would probably want to gravitate up towards that area and challenge it, sooner rather than later. Right now, if you look from November 2023 all the way to like March or April 2024, you see how many candles are just like way outside the upper Bollinger Band.
Yeah.
So we just needed to cool off, and I think that's what this is doing. The upper Bollinger Band can keep expanding pretty soon. Like all you need to do is just another like crazy couple green candles, and it can start expanding again. You know, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's not like it doesn't have that exhaustive look like it did last cycle, where it's just like that big giant wick above, in like February 2021. Like I don't think we're running into that situation. So yeah, I still think that it wants to keep going. One other request I have, and I'll move on, and I'll let you guys keep doing things, is the MSTR over Bitcoin USD chart, just to put that into perspective again. We talked about this before, and MicroStrategy still looks relatively, very, very bullish over Bitcoin. If you just look at like the monthly Ichimoku cloud on that ratio chart, I mean, just looking at the Bollinger Band, it looks like it just wants to expand, right? I mean,
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but if you pull up the Ichimoku on the monthly on this chart, like you can see that it's still like above the cloud. It looks, like look at that. Like you can't be that bearish on how MicroStrategy is going to outperform Bitcoin.
Yeah, it really looks like it's holding as a support really nicely now.
Yeah. So it looks like MicroStrategy wants to continue to outperform Bitcoin, which to me, I think the cycle is still intact. So
fantastic. Yeah.
Amazing.
So Danny, your battery is running low, so we got to go through your stuff really quickly.
Yeah. Please.
All right, we'll go to your Palantir daily charts. We're going to switch gears, okay? Unless anybody has any other things to add. No? You guys are good?
Go for it.
Okay, Palantir.
Why don't you charge your phone, Danny? What's going on?
Yeah,
I'm charging the phone at the same time.
All right, Danny, here's your daily chart for Palantir.
Yes. So first of all, I need to ask you guys if you like this chart.
Do I like it? Well, I don't like that green. I don't like that green thing forming right there, but we'll see.
Well, okay, in panel 2, right?
Panel 2, yeah.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
And the whale accumulation on the daily chart is going lower and lower too.
Yes.
And it's curling down in panel 4 and panel 5 too.
Yes.
I don't know about this.
Everything
Weakness
seems to be curling down.
I see weakness. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there are some signs of weakening momentum from panel 1 to panel 5. So let's go back to panel 1. So as Kat has mentioned before, the higher the candle is above the red ribbon, the more chances of pulling back to the red candle because of gravity. This is what you have told me. Can you remember, Kat?
Yeah, I mean that you just can't, like, it's like a rubber band, right? You can't stretch too far. If you stretch too far, it gravitates towards the mean. So
yeah, so I can find these signals, especially the last 3 daily candles. So it seems that they are sort of pulling back, or in other words, back testing some of the important levels. And I remember Matt has also mentioned the Fibonacci level, which I don't exactly remember remember the price, but that would be
It
around
was
30.06 or 07.
Yeah, 30.07, 30.08, something around there. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably Palantir was going to backtest on that important level. And if $30 is breached, I think the next support level will be 28.7 based on my daily chart. And this level is based on the calculation of the point of control on the volume shelf. So that I think that this also aligns with what Kat has mentioned to me just a few days ago about the important level that Palantir has to hold on in order to resume or keep up the momentum. So let's see whether 20. First of all, let's see whether $30 can be an important support level for Palantir, and if Palantir doesn't find any support level at that level, so the next will be our 28.7.
That's correct. Yeah, I can see something similar too, but I'll talk about my chart when it's time.
Yeah. So let's go on to the weekly chart. So forget the daily chart for a while because we
never
find
look at
some
it again.
weaknesses. I don't want to see. I don't want to see the weaknesses on the daily chart, so I try to avoid. Over elaborating,
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's still it's expanding. The red ribbon on panel 1 is expanding.
Yes. Yeah. Everything seems to be doing fine except the last panel 5 RSI, but that is not very important as far as I'm concerned. So let's go back to panel 1. I think the red ribbon is still widening, it's still developing, and panel 2 you don't find a green bar, you find a red bar, and the well accumulation is still fine, even though the well accumulation stay flat, reaching around 96.4, which is quite impressive, as far as the accumulation is concerned. And there's no retail accumulation in panel 3, so everything's doing fine on the weekly chart. And also we find MACD, which is fine. The two lines are going up. So what do you think, Kat?
I mean, I think the weekly looks great. Even if it back tests down underneath like 27, 28, whatever, like it's still a bullish chart. So. The only concern I have with this chart is it's not just the RSI is curling down. You do have a little bit of bearish divergence, where you see like the price over the last few weeks has kind of gone up, on the top, but the RSI it's kind of going down a little bit on the top there. So I do see a little bit of like a bearish divergence, which is why I think that they probably need some kind of retracement down before up again. But it looks like a great chart, like for a longer term. Per mouth, like me.
Just one thing came up to me, and remember in September, 6th of September, S&P is going to announce some new stock which might be included in the index. So Palantir is one of the strong candidates. So with such catalyst, I don't know whether Palantir would be, hitting some higher level. Let's say 35 or 36, which is the target level of the cup and handle pattern on the weekly chart.
Well, I prefer it going down first and then just shoot all the way up to like 35. Like that's what I prefer, because
honestly, so then you can accumulate more shares of Palantir.
Like I feel like there are a lot of people that are going to be like, what, like the market's gone up all week last week, and like why is Palantir going back down to like 28 or something like that, right? Like everybody's just all frustrated. And the next thing you know, there's like some positive news. I mean, I'm just speculating, but either way, it doesn't matter to me. It's a bullish chart.
But it seems that most retail investors have been waiting for this moment, pulling back to 28, 29, 30 to accumulate more shares of Palantir. And do you think that whales are willing to sell cheap to the retail?
I mean, I don't know. They saw it at 21 like a couple of weeks ago. So who knows, right? But maybe they're trying to get you to sell so they can accumulate more, right? So who's there to know? Like maybe
it's really difficult to predict, but we try to prepare. prepare for both trends,
Yeah,
either
that's
going up
right.
or going down, so that we can accumulate more shares.
That's right. Yeah, it still looks great on this time frame. Like I can
Yes,
see some
totally
short
fine.
term.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see some short term volatility. And when it comes to Palantir, short term volatility could be like, like 10-15% pullback. I really don't care, like honestly. But if
nothing
it
to
does,
worry on the chart.
yeah, follow the trend, right? Which is why
Yeah,
you
exactly.
start looking hard, follow the
Well,
trend. Yeah.
isn't this a good thing too in panel two? How it's actually like getting above the previous levels too, like
I think
that.
so. Yeah, I
That
think
Oh,
last
so.
yes, one more thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So one more thing which I just noticed is that in panel 2, can you guys see that when the green bars turn red, usually it lasts for a few beats, based on the past trend.
Except for right here.
Yeah. So are we
Yeah.
expecting
Yeah,
a
but
few
that was
more
a
bullish
little bit
tweets
that was a
before the
little bit weak
retracement?
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like the current change seemed a little bit stronger in terms of like forming a trend. So
But yeah, it's even
yeah.
breaking out above previous levels too. I think that
Right.
could be
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. High, low.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. Just sometimes we have to guess based on the past trend. So I don't know, but I would just expect the red bars to last for a few more weeks, probably into the catalyst of Palantir being included in S&P 500 index before any retracement happens.
Yeah, it's really hard to say like with these
Yeah.
kind of catalysts because they can always like sell the rumor, buy the rumor, sell the news, buy the news. Like
Yes.
I don't know what they're gonna do. All I know is that your chart is showing that there is a little bit of weakness short term, and
Yeah.
but long term looks fine. So take advantage of it. That's what I'm seeing. Not financial advice.
Okay, so let's take a look at the monthly chart and see whether we can find something more bullish.
There's the monthly chart right there.
Yeah, the monthly chart is the chart which I like best because first of all you find the red ribbon keeping unfolding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you will find the monthly candle doing higher highs, higher lows, and we have overcome all this important resistance level shown in panel 1. And I remember that last time when we were doing the space chat or the live, I remember that I focused on a very important level, which is 35.2 or 35.3 level. So that would be the strongest resistance level that Palantir is facing on the monthly chart. And I don't know whether Matt's calculation on the gun theory aligns with mine or not. But anyway, so you just let us know later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and panel 2, so far so good. Everything is positive. And panel 3 is something which I would like to highlight. We also find a very strong pattern of wealth accumulation around 95.
Yeah, 95.7.
95.66. Wow, this is really stunning, For Palantir, it's really stunning because this is the first time
Ever.
that I have seen such stronger wealth accumulation on the monthly chart. If you try to compare all these bars.
Yeah, it's
Am I
never
correct?
been. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
never been that red before.
Yes, never been that strong, never. And what about? But still, we define some very tiny green bar accounting for 2.37%. So
Yeah.
if these green bars can disappear, I think Bounty would be super bullish.
Yeah, almost disappear. What's that
Yeah.
percentage at? 2.37.
2.37.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
Yeah, that's
but
negligible.
we want
Yeah,
zero, right? That's the
yes,
goal.
almost invisible.
Yeah.
but I want to be 100% accurate.
Yeah. So yeah, monthly and weekly chart looks really good.
And panel 4, panel 5, they are doing well. Yeah, nothing to elaborate because followers can easily detect the trend. So back to panel 1, so 35.2. Once again, it points to this level of strong resistance on the monthly chart for Palantir.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. It's a lot of confluence actually with Matt's chart. So.
Yeah.
But essentially, looking at the weekly and the monthly chart, if it went to 30, 29, 28, that's like a gift, in my opinion.
Yes.
So we'll see.
I need to borrow money from Cat.
What are you talking about? You got like 100%. Like you got like 100x more shares than I do in Palantir. What are you talking about, man?
Did I tell you how many shares I have?
A long time ago, I don't know, but I could work for you and you can pay me money.
But life in Hong Kong is expensive, you know. Come on, Cat.
Yeah, the cost of living is
expensive.
super high.
No, but I think the only thing I'm worried about this monthly chart is getting a little bit too far away from the red ribbon.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's just a little bit too far overextended from the red ribbon. So it does make me wonder. And we can
hold on. Okay. One thing which you just remind me something important. So let's go back to the monthly chart. Can you see that we find the wick on the monthly of the last candle, the last candle? Can you see the wick? So actually, it almost hits the upper boundary of the red ribbon. It touched that level. That would be 21.23. So actually, it was doing sort of the back testing, even on the monthly chart.
Yeah,
before it was shooting up a few weeks ago, a few days ago. So I think so I like that wick, because it was sort of doing back testing.
Yeah, I like big wicks too. They're nice.
Yeah, so far so great. I don't have anything else to add to this.
So just daily chart weakness, but weekly chart, monthly chart still very strong.
Short term still, I can't say bearish, but probably a bit of pulling back.
Yeah,
and in the midterm, in the long term, Palantir is going to be fine based on my charts.
Yeah. So let's see here.
Okay.
Yeah. Time for mine. Yeah. Okay.
What was that?
Just trying to confirm that you guys were done. That's all, You're
the host here, so you do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll kick you guys off your screens and look at mine. Yeah, why not? All right, so essentially, I don't even need to look at the Ichimoku here because it's just so far away. Like, I don't think it's gonna need to go back down to the 27 or 26 zone down there. I mean, it's possible because that would be a back test of like these kind of zones, but I don't think currently that's going to happen. And also, I think that it's just going to keep curling up too. So that'll be even more bullishness for the Ichimoku. So I'm just going to take that off for temporary reasons. And essentially, what I've been telling people on my Patreon is that I wanted to see continued closes above this angle here. And we didn't get it, right? We didn't get it. And it was like flirting with that angle the whole week. And then on Friday, it just closed below, right? So it's just more confirmation that this angle has, like, once it broke below, it's still been a resistance here, resistance there, and now there, right? So granted, it can continue being resistance all the way up to like 35, 36, right? So that's not a problem. And that still could be by the end of September. So that's not a bearish situation. But I think if it's able to ever flip this to a support up here, then it'll get to 35, 36 much quicker than if it just stays as resistance. So that's why I'm really just watching this angle a lot. And I think to stay above it, I would like to see like a weekly close, maybe above like 33, right? Maybe 33 or even 34 just to continue up as a support. But so far, it's still a resistance, which is more confirmation that there's some weakness ahead. And probably next week, the resistance of that angle is going to be around 32.70 or so, 32.60. So essentially around the same time. So I can see price going up there, but not sure if it's going to close above, which is still going to be more confirmation that it's weakness. and possibly could go back down into the 30s down here, or even to the 29s right here. And I think a back test of the 29 would be fine, because then it would be like a breakout, then a back test of these candles here, this zone right there. And I think that would be perfectly healthy to do. But the biggest thing I wanted to point out is that this orange level, which was at 2450, 2460, that is basically now support after that confirmation close above there with that 21% weekly candle. And I don't think we have to ever really worry about going below that again, like knock on wood, right? We'll see. There could be like some kind of another scary event or not. So we'll see. But essentially what I'm looking at for the future of Palantir is just probably this angle is going to be resistance for a while, maybe forever now, right? I don't know. So if that's the case, then we'll have to just zoom out, and that means maybe if it was resistance the whole time, then that could be $100 by September of 2025. I mean, would that be a terrible situation? I don't think it would be.
Man.
Yeah, you got to wait a whole year for $100, right? Yeah. But if it stays in between these two angles right here, it could be much longer than that, right? Because that's how you use this GAN. It determines like the time frame. And that could mean from anywhere from 2025 all the way over to like 2027, 2028, 2029, right? We don't really know. So it all depends on that. But judging by how, when one angle is lost, it is resistance forever, right? Because these are the higher sloping angles. And it's just the way all charts work from the bottom. So essentially, I think this angle could be lost as support forever. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but then that'll just mean price will drift closer and closer to this angle over time, which is a perfectly normal thing. All charts do it, right? So it's not the end of the world, but essentially, I still think it's possible to get up to 35, 36, maybe even 38 or 40 by the end of this year.
Amazing, Matt.
Yeah, wonderful. If you can, I do want to take a look at the Bollinger Band on. You can do monthly, weekly, and daily, and they'll tell you something different for each time frame. So
we'll start with the weekly here.
Yeah, like you can see that right now. It's just, it's trying to get above, but it just has a hard time. The Bollinger Band is expanding, but it's just having a hard time really truly expand to the point where price is able to go up much higher, which again is essentially resistance, just like where it is right at your angle, right? So it's trying to expand. So I think over time it's going to end up doing that. But by the time it expands, it might need to cool off a little bit down anyway. So that tells you that story right there. If you look at the monthly, it's basically the same thing. It's just a little bit too far overextended, above the upper Bollinger Band. So you're going to have a hard time really, go up and that much further. It's completely healthy for the even the monthly. The upper Bollinger Band keeps on pointing up, so it's completely healthy for it to like wait for the upper Bollinger Band to continue to go up and drag price along with it, rather than just closing way above the upper Bollinger Band, which you actually don't want to do. So on the daily, it tells you something a little bit different. On the daily, it actually is showing a little bit of like a trend exhaustion, and it could gravitate towards your angle, but it could also gravitate towards like
that angle. That angle is scaled for the weekly chart.
Oh, gotcha.
So we'll just ignore it.
Yeah, but it could gravitate towards the mean, right, which is like around $29, right down at the basis, like the 20-day moving average. It could gravitate down towards there, and that would be a back test of that horizontal level.
I mean, that's just more confluence of 29 or the high 28s being support.
If you put up the Ichimoku cloud on the daily time frame, it also gives you more levels in terms of where price could potentially pull back to. Like right now, we're getting close to a level, but I don't think like 31 point 34. I don't think that's going to hold. Probably going to go down to maybe the 20-day moving average at the orange line. It could potentially go down further to the top of the cloud and the baseline around like 27-ish. And even like Freedom by 40 is going to give him a shutout. Like he does his daily wave and he has target down as low as like the bottom of the cloud around 25. So all of those are possibilities. I don't know how far it's going to end up pulling back, but it does look like the chart's showing a little bit weakness.
But all of those are still really good opportunities, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and it doesn't have to. That's sort of thing. Like, I don't want to sell out of it because I do see chances are probably going to end up pulling back down to like 29. I think that I agree with that, but you just never know. Like, with a bullish chart on a higher time frame like this, like, I don't want to get the stressful period just trying to trade in and out because I don't know when to buy back. Like, do I buy back at like 29? Do I buy back 27 and it never hits there? Do I buy back 25?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know.
And
so.
that's what the whales know. They anticipate all that, and they're like, "Oh, these suckers! They're never going to buy back after selling."
Exactly. So yeah, but it's interesting to see these levels kind of playing out even on a shorter time frame. Like, those are some of the targets to consider, I suppose. But to me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, all in all, bullish. Longer
for
term.
both MSTR and Palantir.
For both, yeah. MSTR, Palantir, yeah. It's looking beautiful for the future.
Yeah.
No worries at all.
Can you imagine?
Thanks a lot for the confirmation, Matt, in Cantonese cat.
No, yeah. I mean, like, can you imagine when you were buying on the daily when, like, it was just way underneath the lower Bollinger Band just a couple of weeks ago? Like, that was like great buying opportunity. But anyway, yeah, this is great. Thank you for putting it together, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you guys want to stick around for some of these requests that I'm going to answer? You guys, you don't have to.
It's up to Danny. I don't know if he has he has things to do or he has enough battery on his phone.
But somebody wanted to talk about XRP, and I love talking about XRP. I can never stop talking about it.
Stable coin. No, I'm just kidding.
Stable coin. I love that comment, by the way. That was pretty.
Bet you do. I didn't know. I did not set that up. You set that up for me.
I did, yeah, but it was great. It was like one of those comedians that does awesome crowd work. You know, that's what it was. It was amazing.
It was too good to pass up.
Yeah, but I know Danny hates crypto, so maybe.
No, I don't know much about crypto actually.
Yeah,
not because I hate it, but because I don't know much.
Can you trade it in Hong Kong or no?
Actually, we can trade it in a private way.
In a private way.
In a private way.
You're afraid of the government eavesdropping on you right
now? No, it's okay.
Or?
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. All right, so XRP, and I love just like looking at the monthly Bollinger Band really for XRP. That is essentially what I love doing because you can just see how it continues to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and I think as long as it doesn't like touch the top of the band soon, I think it's going to just squeeze more, right? Squeeze more as long as it just stays in this zone. But essentially, I want it to break eventually, but I don't think it's going to be ready yet. And the reason why is just essentially the monthly Ichimoku is just still in the way, and everything else doesn't really matter except for that monthly Ichimoku. Let me take this off. Yeah, so that baseline is 62.4, right? It's been resistance for a long time. You could look at this month, last month, this month here, like so many months in a row, even way up here, it was resistance, right? And it still is. And I need to see that break for any kind of like excitement to develop on a monthly close. And maybe this is the month to do it. Who knows? Like there's still 7 days left, 6 days left. So it's possible. And I think once that happens, then I think the cloud can flip to a support, and then that'll start building a base, and then there'll be more resistance up here to continue maybe in the 80s up to the dollar zone. And then I think once that is a support, then it'll probably go to that $3 zone that I've been mentioning for my minimum target for XRP. And the maximum target, you guys have seen my video out there that I made yesterday, that basically is like 29, right? I think 28, 29 could be a possibility for XRP. Not anytime soon, though. Probably in the distant future, maybe within the next 5 to 10 years or so. So we'll see. But it's all one level at a time. And the first level is that baseline, then the ARC, and then the cloud. And once that cloud is support, then it'll go. So that's what I got for XRP. So somebody was asking about that. So yeah, anywhere from $3 to $29 this cycle. There's your cycle top.
I thought it was 60 cents. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that is the stable coin. Yeah, it's safer than the dollar though, right?
You would hope, but yeah, it looks like it's just oscillating in a range right now. It's it's stuck underneath the weekly Ichimoku cloud too. Is trying to break above. It looks like there's a lot of wicks. It looks like it's been trying to break above like the weekly cloud for a very, very long time. So I think it's just building up energy to try and do that. I don't know if it's going to happen like
Yeah,
in a
the
couple
weekly,
weeks, in a couple months. I don't know, but it looks like it's trying. So
and that lines up perfectly with arc there too. So it's just double resistance, double the pleasure, double the fun. Yeah.
yeah. But until then, 60 cents. But but it looks like it's trying to do something. I don't think this sideways is going to last that long.
No.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure everybody has heard that Raoul Powell comment about XRP, how it's old and it's not going to do anything, right? You guys heard about it?
I stopped watching him. He's a smart guy though. But
Yeah, but maybe he's like paid to talk about it. But like, I can't be bearish on a chart like this from the all-time high back here, right? Like it's been following this symmetry forever, really. It's just like how it's just a longer cycle, really. It's kind of like how Tesla looked from 2014 to 2019 or something, right? It just didn't do anything.
Yeah,
And
it does have that resemblance to it. Yeah, and
yeah.
Ethereum's also pretty old too. So I don't know if but
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that statement because to me it just looks like a super long bearish cycle that is just taking forever to play out and nobody has patience for that in crypto. But if this was a stock, you'd be like, "Oh, this is perfectly normal," right? And if it's a stock that had a similar market cap, it would be perfectly normal. But when it's a crypto, it's like, "Oh, this is too slow. This is not doing anything." But to me, it's just doing what it's supposed to be doing. And eventually it is going to break this over time, and then eventually it is going to rocket up. And I think it's doing exactly what Tesla did in the past. And this is like the XRP is the Tesla of 2014 to 2019, in my opinion.
yeah, pretty good thesis. Sorry, video
Yeah.
too. I mean, it like the technicals line up relatively well for that. It's just tough because it's still underneath resistance, so you don't know when it's going to break. But it's I have nothing else to say. I think it looks like it could be.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So now I saw a request for IWM. So we can talk about that. And now Danny can get involved in IWM if you want, Danny.
I saw the rectangle on the weekly chart for IWM.
Oh, do you wanna share it or no?
Yes, I do. So let me send the weekly chart to you, and can you just do me a favor by posting it?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So hold on.
Yeah.
So
while he's doing that, let's go for it, Matt.
while I wait for his message, which might take 17 minutes, I will talk about this here. Essentially, it's just still in a range, right? It's just between levels here on my log scale GAN. That blue level was a perfect support. You can even see like the 3 Mondays ago, it didn't even go back down to really test that blue level again. Like that's how many people were front running it to eat it up to continue up higher, right? So essentially, it's still approaching a resistance zone. And I think what's kind of important to look at is if you just kind of like drew a line here just to see where the current price is, you can see that it was a major support level before, and then it flipped it to resistance back here in January 22, and now it's still resistance, really. So I think that's the battle we're facing with IWM around that 220, maybe 221 level. So essentially, if that can actually flip to a support, then I think it'll go much, much higher. But this current level right now that it's at is a major resistance zone for it.
Pull up the volume if you can. It's also a little bit unfortunately it doesn't have the volume to wants to maybe push through that level quite just yet.
All right, let me get Danny's chart ready first. Hold on one second.
No, you must do other things at once. No, I'm just kidding.
I only have two hands. All right, the volume here.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't have the volume to push through it, but
Yeah.
Essentially that is what I'm really looking at too. I want to see weekly closes continue to close back above that 221 level, essentially.
Yeah. But to me, it's one of those things that, and I can keep yapping while you're trying to do the, pull up Danny's chart, but like essentially, I think that it depends on the way you look at it, right? This is a bullish chart. There is forming mostly like higher highs and higher lows overall. Even on a higher time frame, it looks great. The question is like how should you look at it? To me, I almost feel like I would want to buy anything that's underneath 220, and if it keeps on being pushed down underneath 220, if that's a resistance level, great. I'm happy to do that. There are more and more support levels that are being built up over time underneath of it. So I don't really mind the fact that it's hitting resistance, kind of like how I'm approaching Tesla at like 200, kind of like how I'm approaching SoFi now, like underneath $8. It's going to be resistant, sure, but it gets rejected. I just feel that overall the chart's looking better and better. I think that it's more of an opportunity to try to accumulate, unless you're trying to buy like the exact price at like the exact support level, which I don't try to do. So I actually don't mind this chart at all.
Well, also, I'm going to draw another line right here, and I like this as a new support zone, really. Just like a really good support, resistance, and now it could be back support. So a 210, in my eyes, now looks really gorgeous to me. I think that should be, in my opinion, bought up. So if it ever gets back down to 210, 209, I think that is the opportunity, in my opinion. And somebody was saying 300 by end of the year. No, not a chance. Not a chance at all. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I'm that bullish, but yeah.
Yeah, there's not a chance to get up to 300. I think maybe previous all-time high right there at 240s. I think that could be a possibility by like November or December. But I'm not sure about anything higher than that for the end of this year, just because there's a lot of resistance above here still. And then that also coincides with the top of the arc right here in November, election time exactly, right? So I think that could be more resistance as well, more confluence of resistance, I should say. So I love 210, and I love it all the way up to maybe 240, but after that, maybe take some profits for accumulation for price to break out. Yeah.
Are you able to multitask and pull up Danny's chart at the same time?
I got Danny's chart right now.
He's only got two hands.
Here we go, Danny. Whoa, why is it so blurry? Hold on. Let me. I don't understand what happened there.
It's like a video game. I don't know. We're as Matt always likes to say, we're all living in a simulation. He's just trying to show us the simulation. It's very pixelated.
Yeah, it's very pixelated, right? So deal with it. Okay, I fixed it, guys. Fixed it.
Thanks.
So, Danny, talk us through your weekly chart here of IWM.
Okay, so first of all, I totally agree with you. You just mentioned a very important level. That would be 220 something. Closing above it. For IWM to keep up the momentum. So based on the last weekly red candle, actually I have two price levels. For people to watch out. So the first level is very important. I think we need a really close above 221.08. So let's make it simple. 221 for the bullish trend to continue, and closing below 212, and this will invalidate the thesis and trigger the downtrend for a while. So 212 and 221. So I think this range is quite important. I don't know whether it will keep shooting up or going down, but based on the red candle, I lean more bullish for IWM. And also this aligns with the steady increase in the wealth accumulation in panel 3. So you will find that actually wealth accumulation has gone up in the past 3 consecutive weeks. And panel 4 and panel 5, they are doing well. Both technical indicators are carrying up. So I think IWM is quite bullish based on my weekly chart.
Yeah, I love that red candle. It's gorgeous. Yeah. But do you think it has momentum for next week to break through that 220, 221?
Let me double check the resistance level. So on the video chart, I don't find too many resistance level except 223.
223. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think
see
sort
it.
of aligning with your resistance level.
Yeah. It's similar. It's like a zone, a range. Like we don't even talk about our levels beforehand, and then they always match up. That's a very good thing.
Yeah. I can see the only thing I worry is the volume just doesn't seem like there's enough interest to push it up beyond that. So I can see it totally waking up to like 223 and then just trying to find some support down below. I can totally see that. So
yeah, somebody said there's so many red candles back to back to back to back. Like Jesus, that's manipulation.
it's a lot of volatility. Like IWM is just extremely volatile, and that happens generally at the beginning of a very strong bull trend. So.
Yeah, actually, one more thing which I would like to add is that every time, from the very beginning, every time when you see the red candle, you will find that the subsequent red candles are doing high than the previous ones.
Yeah, that's true.
This is like a very classic volatility before a big trend change. So I mean, I wouldn't say trend change because the trend is bullish now. So generally, at the beginning of like a trend, you might have more volatility. So.
Bullish under the influence of manipulation.
Of course, I mean they have to grab the liquidity somehow to push price up higher, right? Like they want to make sure. Oh, you think it's bullish now? You think it's bullish now? Let me just keep all your leverage positions, and then next thing you know, you get tired of leveraging, and that's when it goes up. So
somebody says you're photoshopping your red candles onto the chart, Danny.
Trust me, Danny does not have Photoshop.
Yeah, he doesn't even know how to live stream. No. What do you think about?
No, sir, I'm always illiterate.
No,
in terms of all this technical stuff.
Your charts are some of the most amazing stuff ever. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's the far opposite of it, really.
Somebody was asking Danny you a question if you like TSLL.
TSLL. Let me double check.
Yeah, TSLL. Double check.
Yes, that would be Tesla 1.5 leverage ETF.
Yeah.
I think Steve is heavy in TSLL, as far as I remember.
Yeah, but do you like it though?
In the bullish trend, I like it, but in the downtrend, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, because those leverage ETFs, they eat into your actual gains if they go sideways. Yeah.
I guess the indirect question is, what do you think about Tesla?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I share the red candle. I think many times on X, and every time I show up on the red candle, I can't say that it's 100% accurate, but most of the time it has been accurate and reliable. And last time the red candle show up in Tesla. Hold on, I need to go back to Tesla first before I can.
You want me to share a chart? I can.
Yes, I do. Yeah. Okay. But you've only got two hands.
No. As long as Kat doesn't make me pull up some kind of random volume profile, I don't know.
Oh yeah, but can you show the Bollinger Band?
On Danny's chart,
hold on. I'm going to send the daily chart to Kat or Matt.
Yeah, no, just send it to me. It's fine. I'll post it. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Gonna get demonetized now.
Oops. It's a different song. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm trying. I remember you showing your chart for the monthly, and there was a red candle, if I remember correctly, for Tesla. Just last. Let me see here. Yeah, there was a red candle in July, and that should still be playing out on the monthly chart, right? If I remember correctly.
Here is. Wait, no, that's. Wait, you just sent the IWM again, didn't you? Oh, I know you
It's your fault, Danny.
My fault.
No, sorry, I clicked the wrong chart.
Okay.
I'm having the technical difficulties. Yeah, I thought you sent like the IWM chart twice, but no, that was my bad.
Oh,
Okay, here is the Tesla
Did I
daily
send you
chart.
the wrong chart?
No, you're good. Tesla daily,
Okay.
Ray. You're up, Danny. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay. So can you see the tightening of the blue ribbon in panel 1? So actually,
Yes.
you know, every time I see the tightening of the blue ribbon in panel 1, I feel very happy because that signals to me that the downtrend will be soon over if we see a steady increase in value accumulation. And also, I particularly like the last right candle in Tesla because that complete the bottoming process in terms of the price level, and you will find that all these candles have been doing high highs and high lows, with the last 2 candles doing sort of the back testing at a very important level at around 210, 215, or 220, and you will find that a very important level, which I highlight, that would be 220, so 220. So that would be a very important level. Hold on. Let me double check. Yes. So let's put it this way. 220 is the level which Tesla has to hold on so that the bullish trend can continue.
Yeah, I see that right there, and it did close basically exactly on that level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the trend of the retail. It's going a little bit less, and day over day, the whales did accumulate a little bit more. And yeah, like you said, on Thursday, that daily backtest of the bottom of the ribbon, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it looks like it's just a little bit more or less trendless right now, though. I mean, it looks like it's just wants to maybe go sideways for a little bit longer, but there are some bullish development that's happening on this time frame. You know, we still have a resistance we need to break above. So it might take some time still. It doesn't look like it's just going to ship through it, but, you know, who knows?
Yeah, for sure. Well, any other things? I mean, somebody is talking about NVDA on earnings next week. Anybody have an opinion on that?
No.
You know, it's totally hard to predict the trend because it can go either way.
Yeah, and it is approaching like a resistance zone, really. So it's really hard to see if it's going to break out of that resistance zone or go back and back test some levels. I mean, it had a fantastic recovery from the 90s all the way up to the current price. So it's just been ridiculous. So the opportunity was when it went down to the 90s. Like that was a serious like buy signal. So many like support levels were at that level. So it's just incredible. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like whenever price just kind of went up huge from like 90 all the way to like 130, I don't know, like when earnings come.
Matt, do you want me to show you the daily chart of NVIDIA?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
here.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Kat had to do brunch or something, but I guess
no. I think actually it turned out. Yeah, like she just texted me and I got stood up, so don't worry about it. Yeah, but it's but I just worry like whenever price goes from like $90 to 130 within 3 weeks, and then earnings coming up, and like, which way is it going to go, up or down? I don't know.
But it's just crazy how the panic makes people not want to buy. It's like it's obvious on the chart, like, hey, this is your chance, everybody. This is screaming in your face, but everybody ignores that. Yeah.
Oh, because there's a bunch of recession fears, and like there are a lot of really vocal people that came out and saying, hey, you know, the carry trade is real. You guys should be scared, and this is like the worst thing ever. So I mean, it's always like, you know, whenever it's the scariest, like whenever you should be buying, you're not buying. That's just how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, we are the light in the darkness, ones to guide everybody through the difficult times, because most people need to stop listening to me.
We count on you, Matt.
Not financial
Always.
advice.
No, but we all had the same opinion though. When August 5th hit, we're like, dude, this is great. Like these, I mean, sure, things could break, but this is like the levels you guys want. We all said the same thing, and only a few listened, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean the worst the if you're not sure, you don't listen to anybody, I think at least like just hold off, don't do anything, and just see how it plays out. Just
the best advice is to do nothing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, here's your NVIDIA daily. Danny, walk us through it.
When the red candle show up, and I post it on my Patreon, and not so many followers were following that red candle because they were skeptical, and some of them were expecting NVIDIA to go below 90, 80, 70. And even my neighbor, which Cat has known, he was putting his buy order at 75. so actually, the red candle was the timely signal to put an end to the bottom process looking bad, but not so many at. And another buying signal actually is the transition from the blue ribbon to the red ribbon. That would be 16th of August, when NVIDIA was still doing $120. So if you miss these two chances, probably you have to wait for the next one.
There was even three, that 94, 93 level. Like that's the longest one ever, and that's like confirmation that wants to hold us support.
Yes, exactly. So that would be the strongest support level in my panel one. So good eyes, Matt.
Yeah. So I mean, now you have this little panel 2 green candle forming a little bit, so that could be some signal of some slowing. But I mean, no retail accumulation in panel 3. Like almost, it's basically zero, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's essentially still zero. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with earnings, Danny? Tell us.
Do you want me to talk about the trend which took place last year?
Yeah, let's talk about what
because
took place
I can only go back to the trend last year because we were just predicting based on the historical trend. So last year when NVIDIA, so okay, I can't show you on that daily chart, so don't worry. Okay, I just briefly mentioned the trend which happened last year. So when NVIDIA was announcing the earnings last year, actually they had a very short rally, and all of a sudden it took a turn for the worse, and NVIDIA spent 3 months consolidating between 440, 450, at that level. So and this also happened to other big techs and also the index. So and the consolidation lasts from early September until early November.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether the similar trend will play out this year. Hopefully not. If NVIDIA is going to announce the impressive, stunning, mind-blowing earnings, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Anything is possible.
So I personally don't bet into the earning because it's too risky.
Yeah, I don't either. I like to play the longer term trends as well.
Yes.
And earnings plays it's just gambling, really. It's like a short term gamble. If you want to be right, go ahead, try to brag on X. Oh, I'm so right about the earnings, but the trend is your friend, and so far the trend is up. So even if it does go back down to like what 115, 120, whatever, I think that's another opportunity. Yeah. So we'll see, but I think it still is trending up, and it still looks like it's kind of wants to break levels, right? So we'll see. And according to the daily chart, that last 121 was resistance. Right now, it's looking like a support. So I think
and you flip into support level for the time being. And let me double check the longest resistance level. That would be 136. But
yeah,
yeah.
But essentially, just looking at the daily chart, if price did go back to 121 to 117, I think that's your opportunity right there. That's what I think.
Yeah, we still have very strong layers of support from 121, 117, and hopefully not 94.
Yeah. Hopefully that is in the past, and you missed that opportunity if you didn't accumulate down there.
Yeah, I need to hide that number.
Many different chances. Yeah.
I can't see it going that much higher in August, but I can see it going higher next month. So I think it might be one of those things that the earnings are great, the reaction is mixed. Then eventually, like if you give it enough time, like the next few weeks could be very, very bullish in September, which would be contrary to what people think about seasonality, because generally September is supposed to be like the terrible month. But I feel like if you want to talk about market in general, I feel like we might have front ran the September a little bit with that big giant wick down with like VIX going up to like 60. So I don't know. Like I feel that there's room for NVIDIA to go up higher in September, but maybe not in
I hope you are right, Kat. We are all expecting a bearish September, based on seasonality.
I see what you did there, though, Kat. September, I get it.
I did not coin that phrase, of course. Yeah. So I don't see necessarily like I think the earnings still going to be a catalyst, but I don't necessarily think that it might play out like the very next day or anything. Like there might be some mixed reaction just because we've ran up all the way from like 90 to 130.
Yes.
Right? So there might be a little bit of mixed reaction. We might have to digest a little bit. September bear may or may not work out. Yeah, because I still see like if you look at like the monthly Bollinger Band, it looks like it wants to expand, but right now probably just getting restricted by the upper Bollinger Band on the monthly. But in September, it's going to go up, so there might be room for it to go up a little bit higher. I don't know. Speculation.
Yeah, no, I still can see getting in close to the 150s by the end of the year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, short term, who cares? In my opinion, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I would like to invite Rubron Broker back, because like last time we spoke many weeks ago, it was like almost a month ago again. Like she was basically saying, yeah, the S&P 500 looks a little bit toppy, and we may not make another high this year. I don't know whether or not she changed her stance based on like how the market's reacting. It'd be interesting to know what she thinks.
Well, yeah, when we both talked about it, we both mentioned like maybe 4,800 was possible. And how low did it get? I didn't even see how low it got during that Black Monday event. The SPY or SPX. Let's go take a look. I remember that live stream completely.
It looks like 51.19 didn't quite get down there. Yeah,
didn't get there, but pretty close.
Yeah. It's still a pretty monstrous correction, but like I mean, all it does is just basically just back test like some horizontal level, but it's still pretty. Yeah, I bet it felt terrible for a lot of people.
It did. It was scary. Like I had a lot of people DM me saying, "Oh, what should I do?" I'm like, nothing. Just don't do anything. Like you don't want to panic sell. Like that's the worst thing. Like I think people's first instincts, you should do the exact opposite of what you think you should do at that time, because a lot of people like freak out like, oh, I gotta sell. Like nope, just do the opposite. Don't sell. That's always the best advice. But yeah, essentially I was gonna just quickly show NVIDIA before we finish up, because I think it's already been an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, and Danny wanted to keep it short, so.
But we're just having too much fun, and I wanted to show you this log scale, Danny, because that 121 level you have, like, look at my green level on the GAN right there. It's like 121, 122.
Yeah. Okay, we have double confirmation. Perfect.
Yeah, it's more confirmation that I think that level really wants to hold us support, and it's looking pretty fabulous. And the only thing here is, what was it? I think, was it the daily Ichimoku? Yeah, the daily Ichimoku is just pressing against some resistance with the top of the cloud there. But the cloud is going to be flipping green in the future there, so that is a good sign. But just like looking to the left of the chart here, you can see it's a big resistance zone too. So I don't know. Earnings could go either way. It could come back down.
Earnings.
Yeah, it could go either way. So it's like if you want to gamble, go ahead and gamble. But I think the long-term trend is still higher, and I think the 150s comes sooner than later. So that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're good. Yeah.
I think we're good too. Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't think I've.
Okay.
I feel,
One more
I feel
final
like I haven't-
question before we wrap.
Yeah, go
before
for
we
it.
wrap up. So we talk about a few stocks from Palantir to NVIDIA. Okay. So if I could only choose one for investment, which one would you choose?
Mine still is Tesla, just because it's not.
Okay.
It's not in a bull market yet. It's just like in the beginning stages of a bull.
What about you, Katz?
I'll stick with Palantir. I think that
Okay.
the upside for Palantir is still higher. I think a lot of the NVIDIA already made more than a 10x in a very short period
exactly.
of time, within 2 years. So I still think that it can probably still make another 2.5, 3, maybe even 4x, moving forward. But the trend, there's some concern that I feel like there might be a little bit of trend exhaustion for NVIDIA, and the market cap's also just getting so big. Whereas I still think that Palantir still hasn't really that much heated up yet on the monthly chart. It's just starting to heat up. So I feel like there's going to be more gains for Palantir maybe moving forward over the next couple of years. But, who knows? It's still speculation. But I just like the potential for Palantir more.
Thanks a lot.
What about you, Danny?
Actually, I'm sorry, Matt. I'm with Kat.
Palantir, you're not even with your red candle on Tesla.
No, not because I don't like Tesla, but because I prefer Palantir, because I like all the fundamentals and also the technical setups, and I think that Palantir is going to do much higher than what we expect. And of course, Tesla is going to do well if the earnings, if the catalysts all play out in the future. But I like both actually, and because both of them are actually haven't hit record high when other strong stocks keep hitting record high.
Yeah. I just think my strategy is always to look at things right before they're looking to break out.
Yes.
And I think NVIDIA, Palantir, they've already had their many little breakouts. Yes, they're going to go higher. I agree with that completely. I had it in my top 5 stock pick, right?
Yes.
And,
so probably one day we do a space chat and share our top 5 positions
Yeah.
in the portfolio, and I think our followers will like it.
But I think with Tesla here, just looking at the monthly chart and the Ichimoku here, it's the beginning of a bull market, really. It looks like on top, it's back in the cloud on top of the conversion, the baseline. Like this is this is what you look for when they're that close together for a beginning of a bull market. So this is what I really am excited about. For even ARKK is showing signs of a beginning of a bull market too. So it's like these are the signs I specifically look for a huge breakout in the future. And I love getting things right before they break out. And I don't really get excited after they have broken out a lot, right? Which NVIDIA has, which Palantir is in the process of doing. But I still like them all. I still think they're all going to go higher. But I specifically love things when they look like on the monthly chart they're in the beginning of a bull.
So to be fair, I gotta say, like, my Palantir position is about like 3.5 times size of my Tesla portfolio, and I am not planning on selling any of my Palantir anytime soon. But I'm adding to Tesla still. I'm not adding to Palantir anymore.
So that means you agree. You agree it's the beginning of a bull too.
In a way, I agree with both, because I'm still going to keep the Palantir position as like my biggest. And but if I'm going to add to something right now, I'll add to Tesla, just to be fair.
Fair enough. Oh, there's a comment on YouTube saying because you lost $4 million on Tesla, so you're a little bit biased against Tesla, right?
No, that's not the reason. Yeah. I think if I lost $4 million in Tesla, but I can still recover from these losses somewhere else. So I don't have to keep buying the same stock. There are always many opportunities in the market if we know how to make use of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are really that scared because we lost money and we like hold grudges. I was with Voyager. I lost crypto
Yeah.
with them. I'm still in Bitcoin. I'm still in Ethereum. Like it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the only way you learn. The only way you learn how to trade like professionally is by losing money.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and if you don't lose money, you don't know how to keep it. So
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, because we all lost a lot of money before, me too.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why we're here today, because we learn from our mistakes and we don't do the same things
Yeah,
anymore.
and it's through losing
Yeah.
that we learn how to perform much better in the future.
Well, as long as you realize your mistakes. Some people just keep losing, and they don't change at all. So it's just you got to realize it.
We all need the big lessons, and we all need to learn how to learn from them and try to avoid them in the future.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm bullish on all the things we talked about.
Yeah.
And
Actually, all of them are very good stocks for long-term investment.
Yeah.
So they
But
are just the stocks which help us to create wealth in the long term.
Yep.
Rather than trading in and out in order to miss the long-term rally.
But do you think Tesla's in the beginning stages of a bull market, Danny?
Yes, I do. Once I saw the red candle on the monthly chart. Yeah, and I did show it probably 1 or 2 months ago.
Yeah. So I mean, the whale accumulation probably keeps going up too on the monthly chart, like trending up.
Yeah.
So that's really good as well. But
yeah,
I mean, just looking at a chart that looks like Tesla that I'm looking at right now, this excites me the most, because I see this is the reversal sign I've been waiting for. This is everything that I love in stocks, just getting it before it really breaks out. And so that's why I love Tesla the most. So there we go.
No, that's fair. I think it's getting set up for a pretty explosive move. Like even the monthly bull in Japan is like squeezing, and the 20-month moving average is curling up. So yeah, I mean, I saw your video too. I mean, there's nothing to dislike about Tesla chart as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So good things to come, and I think the future looks bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you say
we
that.
all count on you guys.
What's that, Kev?
Danny, what's that?
I mean, I do count on both of you. You know.
I don't know. You got like thousands of people counting on you on your Patreon. So.
And I do count on you.
No, but like we need your red candle. Otherwise, I am not.
And I read your gun theory. I need Ichimoku crowd.
We need each other.
We need all these,
yes,
exactly. We need one another for the multiple confirmations, so that we can do much better. We can outperform the others in the market.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I do wonder if there's a time that we can get together together with Rublon Broker too. I think Danny, like, she really wants to do a stream with you at some point. So
yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And let's make sure it's like at least 3 hours.
Make sure you turn your ad revenue on. I don't know if you have like that on yet or not. But anyway.
No, I do. I can get super chats. Come on, guys. Send me some tips.
All the proceeds goes to Matt today. But yeah. All right. Well, it's been fun. I'm gonna get back to reality.
Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll do it again, and let's make sure an NVDA has a blowout quarter, right?
Yes.
下一次我们再说。很开心跟你们聊，这一次聊得非常开心，谢谢你们。
非常非常的开心，我的普通话也进步了很多。
我也是很开心，
因为 Matt， 我有这个胆子去说普通话。
我没有胆子啊，我胆子好小啊。
以前我没有胆子，因为我的普通话讲得不好。
哪里
买。
Yeah, don't my. You want to my.
That's very good. That's very good. It's hard for people to actually distinguish between the two. So.
That's right.
All right, man. We're gonna figure it out at the Chinese stream later. But yep.
Fantastic.